Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. We are the Central Middle School Combined 8th Grade Band. Please take a moment to turn off or silence all cell phones and refrain from using social media, texting, and talking during tonight's concert. We have worked hard to prepare this concert for you, and additional lights and noises can be distracting to the performers or other audience members. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy tonight's performance.
Tonight you will hear several concerts in one. We will perform 3 pieces by ourselves, then the Drumline will perform, then North Winds will perform, and then we will perform together. At North Campus, there are 3 different bands. Concert band, made up only of 9th graders, varsity band, which is mostly 10th graders and a few 9th graders to fill in, and North Winds, which combines the most advanced 9th and 10th grade students. Anyone who chooses to continue in band next year can do so without an audition. In the spring, we will have the opportunity as 8th graders to audition for higher level groups if we so choose. We will get more information about this in the spring.
The first piece we performed for you tonight was written by Randall Standridge and is called New Era Fanfare. Our second piece takes us in a wildly different direction. Jam by Sean O'Laughlin is a lively and exciting piece that utilizes fun rhythms, catchy melodies, and multiple time signature changes. We hope you have as much fun listening to it as we do playing it.
Not quite tell it. There we go. Good evening. My name is Kristen Chase, and I have had such an awesome year with this group of people behind me. this has just really been a fun group of kids to work with. What's really cool about this group that we can say about most of our groups most of the time, but not all the time, is that every single kid on this stage puts forth 100% effort every single day in band. They are working so hard in class, and that continues to impress me because they are working on something that is bigger than the individual. They are working together to create something that's bigger than any one of them, and they don't get to do that in the rest of their day. This is the only class they have where they get to come together and work towards something bigger. And registration is coming up. If this is something that you like your child having as a part of their day, tell them that, encourage them to stick with this. So thank you so much for being here tonight, and I'm gonna pass it over to our final 8th grade speakers.
The last piece we will play for you by ourselves tonight takes us back in the time to the 1800s in the Great American Old West. Black Bart was a notorious outlaw who appeared in the opera in the North California and Southern Oregon beginning of July of 1875 through its final robbery in November of 1883. Black Bart made daring thefts in stagecoaches. Though he received fame for these bold robberies, Bart was also known for holding up coaches with an unloaded shotgun, never harming a passenger, and leaving behind poetic messages after his heists.
Detectives eventually tracked Bart down only 9 days after his final heist. After his trial, it was determined that he committed 28 robberies during an 8-year criminal career. He served 4 years in jail and then received a pardon. The Last Stagecoach Heist by Travis J. Weller depicts the final criminal act in the career of Black Bart. It's energetic, daring, and at times relentless, referencing the better qualities of a man who lived a life of crime. Following this piece, there will be a brief break while the drum line gets set, and North Winds joins us on stage for the remainder of the concert. We hope you enjoy The Last Stagecoach Heist.
Well, good evening. My name is Jeremy Rockford. I primarily teach band at North, but also at South Campus. So we're both Shannon Anderson and we travel between the two buildings and do all of the bands at the high school level. We'd like to introduce you first to the Drumline and then to one of the groups at North called the North Winds. And we're super excited to be here this evening and playing with the 8th graders. It was a lot of fun to come over on Friday and get to know them a little bit and play with them briefly. And we're excited to put together that show today. As is the season, there is a lot of illness going around. So we had a little chair shuffling for people that have pneumonia is going around, and it's just this trying to fill the holes with the right people in the right place. So thanks for patience as we transitioned. This is the White Bear Lake Drumline for 2018-2019, and this is kind of concluding their season over these 2 weeks here. This week and next week will be their last official performances as a group together. Then we get audition information out for the next year's crew in late February, early March. We'd love to do that this year and audition in early April so we can start rehearsing right away to be ready for the summer parades, which start right away in June. So it's always a fun crew. They log a lot of hours together. They become like a family with all its fun and dysfunction. No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They enjoy each other's company, sometimes too much. So we have another instructor. He's floating in the back there, Mr. Eric Richardson. He is our primary rehearsal person for the Drumline. He does a great work. He is a White Bear alum. We're very proud of him. Way to go, Mr. Richardson. He, along with Isaac Subcheck, will write all the drill and all the music that we use throughout the season. So this is a feature by Mr. Eric Richardson. The Drumline, again, is open to audition. And would you, on the Drumline, kind of just wave at the audience if you are not a percussionist as your primary instrument? Okay, so we do encourage, yeah, that's great. We do encourage our percussionists to think about this group. It's a great way to enhance and grow your skills and rudimental playing and really work on your coordination. But if you're willing to work hard, any band member can come sweat with us, okay? You just have to be able to put in the time and do the audition and commit to the schedule, which has a lot of performances in it. So without any further talking on my part, this is the winter feature by the 2018-2019 White Bear Lake Drumline. All right, we are mixed in with our 8th grade comrades here. We're going to do one song by ourselves as a North Winds group, and then 2 songs to finish all together to kind of celebrate the evening. This piece is called Alleluia, La Damas Te. It's been around for a while. It came out in the 60s. We're going to play the song in the spring with a full-size pipe organ. So it has to have a scored part for some percussion and pipes. We'll simulate a little bit of that today, but I would invite you to check it out if you have some time in April. We are on the first Thursday in April over in Montemita at the St. Andrews. They have their $1 million pipe organ there. It should be fun to hear fired up. But this is us with Alleluia, La Damas Te.
The next piece we're going to play for you tonight is our first piece with everyone combined. We haven't gotten to do a side-by-side concert like this in years, and Mr. Rockford and I decided we wanted to make it work this year, so here we are. The first piece we're going to play is called Festive Proclamation. And before we play it, I want to give a couple shout outs and thank yous that I forgot to do when I talked earlier, because I had this really inspirational speech prepared in the car. I planned it out. And then of course I get up here and forget everything that I was going to say. So I have a couple people to thank real quick. I want to thank Corinne Steffens, who's back there working the sound and lights for us today. Thank you, Corinne. We've got the local cable company here, so keep an eye out for that on your local cable access channel. I also need to give a thank you to Brandon Burwald, who is back there in the percussion section. He is a 10th grader, but we had a sick percussionist in 8th grade, so he filled in on a couple parts for 8th grade. So thank you, Brandon. And then thank you to all of you, of course, for all of your continued support over all of the years. Yes, you, little brothers too. We thank little brothers too. All right, thank you so much. Here is our first combined piece.
Okay. The soundtrack for The Greatest Showman is one of only 7 albums in the last 50 years to spend at least 30 consecutive weeks in the Billboard Top 10. In the UK alone, it spent 11 weeks at number 1. The movie is the 3rd highest grossing musical ever, making a total of $435 million in the 219 days it spent in theaters around the world. Following our final piece, refreshments will be served in the lobby. We hope you have enjoyed tonight's concert, and we invite you to channel your inner Hugh Jackman and sing and dance along with us as we leave you with the highlights from The Greatest Showman.
Well, it's been a lot of fun to work with these people on stage for even just the brief moments we got to. We're digging through the costume loft this afternoon because it seems that we're going to play The Greatest Showman, but we have the average showman budget for costumes. So we'll make it happen the best we can. But before we launch into this and end our evening, just want to encourage you to encourage your students to pursue their music, whatever is the next step for them. One clarifying thing heading to high school, we will have high school orchestra beginning next year because it is growing up now with the 8th grade class and will become a 9th grade opportunity. But if a woodwind, brass, or percussionist wants to intersect with the orchestra, they should audition for the top band, and we'll schedule those simultaneously in the same period so they can share personnel. So that's how that will kind of grow and develop. As the orchestra needs brass, woodwinds, or percussion parts, we'll share back and forth during the seasons that those are called for. There's a lot of string-based chamber music that they will explore surely early on in their high school career, but as the works get bigger and more complex, these guys will get to play for both teams going forward. So if you have any questions about high school, I will be around, hanging around, kind of cleaning some things up and trying to meet you in the lobby. But these people have put in a lot of time. As Miss Chase, I could keep practicing. It's not cushy anymore. Chase. It will flow off easier and easier each time. As she shared earlier, you want to keep some balance in your life, and a lot of these people have a lot of fun when they're with each other making music. There's usually smiles coming into the band room each day, and they're excited to get some things done together and have this fun energy and creation moment. They're learning lots in their labs and in their maths and everything that they're doing throughout the rest of the day, but this is a fun release and being a part of creating something. So encourage them to look for that in their lives, and hopefully it's in band next year. We'd love to see them keep going. All right, without more talking, here is The Greatest Showman.